You always tell us that we review the most expensive pickup trucks, and a lot of the time it's the case, but not right now, because I want to show you the difference between a very basic brand new heavy duty pickup truck, this GMC Sierra, and the top of the line one, yes, the most expensive one. There is almost $50,000 in difference. Yes. So right here, right now, this white truck is a 2024 GMC Sierra heavy duty 2500 with a gas engine, and over here is the new 84X version of that truck with an AV edition, yes, massive bumpers, and a Duramax diesel. Yes, like I said, there's almost $50,000 of difference between them. So, all right, let's go look on the side over here first. I specifically picked a truck with 4 doors, but if you notice, this is not a full-size rear door. This is what GM calls a double cab, which means it still has 4 forward swinging doors, but this door is a little bit shorter and the rear seat is a little bit smaller. And so it's not a full crew cab. But here I am at about 6'3", and I can still fit okay. The only issue I have here in the back seat is that the rear seat back is a little bit too upright. Like I feel like I'm sitting kind of bolt upright. So if it had a slight angle, it might be a little bit better. And it's a 4-wheel drive and it's a long bed. So this is basically an 8-foot bed. And 4-wheel drive, like I said. And this has an off-road ready package, X31. Why does GM use these codes to designate their off-road trucks? I will never know, but this is an internal code. So a Z71 is an internal code for Chevrolet, and X31 is a code for GMC. Yes, and part of that package is the Rancho shock you see underneath. I believe there is a skid plate and really 4 high, 4 low, 4-wheel drive capability. But as you can tell, if you look a little bit further, the tires are pretty small. This is kind of the basic Sierra. They call this model the Pro, basically the work truck. And there's nothing wrong with that. Work trucks are pretty cool. Now let's walk over to this side and look at this 84X. So a lot of that is about the same. You can see the similar headlights, similar grille, but this is a full crew cab. Just look at the size of this door. This is pretty gigantic, and here's the difference. I jump in, there's a little bit of an angle in the seat. I have plenty of legroom. I'm sitting behind myself. So really, I mean, this is a gigantic rear seat, and it has a power step that will hide here in a second. And this bed is a little bit shorter, but not much shorter. This bed is about 6'10", so still a super usable bed. So you can even tow, most goosenecks and some fifth wheels. This one is not equipped with a fifth wheel prep package right now, but you can do that. You can actually equip an 84X with a gooseneck package, fifth wheel package, and you can tow those trailers, toy haulers, and the rest. Let's take a look at the engines, and of course at the end of this video I'll tell you the prices, but that's a huge difference. So let's take a look under the hood of this guy. It's a gasser. So they have 2 engines available. They're both 6.6, so it's a little bit confusing. And see, it's hiding way underneath. Pardon the water. It's been a little bit rainy. The 6.6 is hiding. It's still a very large displacement. And 401 horsepower, 464 pound-feet of torque. And for 2024, it's made it to a 10-speed Allison branded transmission. You could see that badge. So we've tested a truck very similar to this already, so check out alltfl.com. and we've taken it on the iGauntlet World Toughest Towing Test. We've done some other testing, and this transmission really helps a lot because it was a 6-speed before, and this truck is now more efficient and it's more capable. By the way, I have to thank my friends at Johnson Auto Plaza. Without them, this video would not be possible because I can get access to these more affordable vehicles and bring them to you so you could see them. Of course, this guy, and let me pop the hood because you'll see the difference of how the engine is positioned. This guy is a diesel. The diesel engine costs about $9,500 approximately, just a little bit less than that. So that's the difference in price. But this engine bay is full. There's a turbocharger sitting on top of it. There's a new controller you can see right there. It's the latest and the greatest. 470 horsepower and 975 pound-feet of torque. Dual battery system, all the intercoolers, all the radiators. Yeah, it's the big boy. And this guy can tow up to about 18,400 pounds. This guy can tow upwards of 22,000 pounds, depending on some of the suspension and configuration like that. But let's take a look at the payload because that's really important for heavy duty. And then I'll show you the interior. Okay, so this 4x4 has a payload of 3,133 pounds. Actually, that's pretty good. Anything over 3,000 pounds in a 4x4, 3/4 ton, I would call that a win. And here's, I was telling you, 2 high, 4 low. Tow haul mode is available. Of course, your light control, trailer brake controller, I'll show you in the middle just in a second. And it's a 6-person configuration because there's a seat right there in the middle too. I mean, it's not the biggest seat, but in a pinch, you can use that for 6 people. And then let's look in here really quick. You will notice a huge difference in the dash design, materials. This one has bigger screens, a lot more tech. The brake controller is actually on the center console, like down below by the cup holders right there. So orientation of some of the controls is a bit different. This has a luxury headliner, sunroof, AEV edition, badging right there embroidered in the seat. So you can tell this seat has a massaging feature. So this is how you enable it, and you can control your massage using this controller. The work truck doesn't have massage. I mean, it should, right? Because you're working all day. Why can't you have massage in the work truck? That would be interesting. So jump in here on the passenger side and let's start this up. So yeah, you can see this is an older interior design. So this is the way it looked in 2020, 21, 22, 23, and now even in 24, we still have the similar design on the work truck. So they're building 2 different interiors. It's still a push button start. This has cruise control. You probably know my pains with cruise control, but this particular truck does have it. And as you can see, pretty simple setup. Trailer light check. I like that shortcut because work trucks tow most of their life. Just a reverse camera, no 360-degree views, no automated climate control system. You have to control it by hand as far as which approximate temperature you want to set it at. Brake control is here, so that's pretty nice. And I love this, that they added an actual outlet right here, a 120 or a 110 volt outlet. You can also release your tailgate right here. You have hill descent control. So actually, this work truck is pretty well equipped for what it is. It has a cubby under here, a little bit of storage, vinyl floors. Here's my key. Column shift. I mean, what else do you need in the pickup truck? It's got a huge bed. The only downside of this double cab maybe is the comfort level in the back seat is not the super best. But in just a couple of minutes, I'll tell you how I would configure my heavy-duty GMC because I'm getting a lot of ideas here. This could be really cool. So let's jump in there, and I'll show you a couple of differences, and I'll tell you the price. Here you go. Oh, by the way, let me show you, let me take the camera. The payload on this guy is 2,695. So still really usable. You would think after you load up all the luxury features, the leather and the suede headliner and heads-up displays, that your payload will go way down, but it does not go down too terribly. Here you go. Here's the new interface. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Automatically, the heated seats come on. I have a heated steering wheel that came on automatically. I have, yeah, there you go. It's nice leather wrapped. I have digital gauges up front. I have digital screens over here. I still have my trailering apps right there. I have my cameras. This has a full 360-degree view, which is really helpful for off-roading as well. And around town, driving, this is a giant truck. It sits way higher than the other one. No 6-person configuration. This is still a large center console. And the back seat, like I said, is super comfortable in this truck. And so those are some of the differentiating features. I have my rear camera mirror and heads-up display. That's kind of hard for you to see, but it's up here. I can change my gauges. I can do all this stuff. So we talked about the price of the engine, the powertrain. The diesel costs more by about $9,500. The AEV package itself, the additional skid plates underneath, the steel bumpers front and rear, the front bumper is winch capable. That's about $9,300 just for the AEV package. AT4X package, let's finish that outside. Offers you, of course, a lift and DSSV shocks. Let me show you. So DSSV shocks, 35-inch tall tires basically versus 31.6-inch tires on the work truck. And you could see special AEV edition wheels with a little protector for your valve stem. It's not the best protector. I've seen some of them that stick out a little bit more on AEV trucks, but still, at least that's in production. These are the bumpers I'm talking about. AT4X package, of course, costs quite a bit because of that suspension system, bigger tires, and this truck also gets a selectable rear locker. So, drum roll. This guy gas truck, the way you see here, is $57,000. Yep, that's the new affordable. I don't know if you could see it here, probably not. $57,640. I'm sorry, it's so reflective and I can't really take this sticker out of the window. It starts at about $50,000, but because it has the convenience package, of course it's X31 package, which I think I would get actually. This one, $104,175. So there is about $47,000, $48,000 of difference between these two. Now here's how I would configure my heavy duty. I would get double cab. I'll have to ask my kids if they can sit in this double cab and feel comfortable. But if they do, I would get a double cab with a 6'10" bed. You can do that because an 8-foot bed is probably too big for me, for my work as a semi truck is going by. I would get a shorter wheelbase because I want to go off-road. So I would get a double cab, shorter bed like this one. I would get probably something like this with 6 seats. So a Pro with an X31 package. And I would be just happy. That would be what, about 56,000? Maybe a little bit less. And then I would go to the aftermarket and put bigger tires on it because I would want a larger tire, not just for looks, but also for capability. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Check out alltfl.com for everything automotive. But here are 2 different trucks. There's a huge gap in price between them, but there's also a huge capability difference as well. I'll see you next time. Thanks.